change lives, we're here to change pockets, and we're here to make you look good, feel good, and have a lot of money in your pockets.
From South Africa, from Kenya, Nairobi.
We are so happy, we are excited, the products are amazing.
I came to Dubai for Emporium. I'm here to make lives better.
Yeah, there's a launch of Sheraton, the Mall of Mates, and you're getting to get started. So we're so pleased today to have the corporate team here.
Okay. We're sitting.
Senior master from Uganda, based in the UK.
Hi, how are you guys? We're here having fun.
Yeah. Our friend from the tip of South Africa. From South Africa?
The UK as well.
Oh, I don't say you're from South Africa yesterday. Oh, it's the other
No, I'm from Nigeria.
Ah, okay.
From Nigeria, but based in the UK.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're based in London?
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah.
She's a brand ambassador.
Oh, brother, yeah. We shall be inviting you to Kenya to come and catwalk for us.
Amazing. I'll be there.
You do that?
I'll come through.
Okay. Now ladies, give me the t-shirts. I want a suit. You have a suit for Emporium?
Yeah.
You know, I come from the corporate one where we don't put on t-shirts, we want suit.
Oh,
So you can make one for me?
suit?
A suit?
You don't put on t-shirt.
T-shirts.
Wow, so you have to improvise for yourself. Then you have to use your black suit on top of your t-shirt,
Yes.
which is going to be okay. What about that?
Yeah, I don't see your good name, madam.
Oh, my name is Godwin Agudia Danjuma from Nigeria.
Slowly, go.
Godwin Agudia Danjuma from Nigeria.
Yes, from Nigeria. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
My name is Adako.
Adako.
Yes.
Adako. Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
Senior master?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
My name is Hadiza.
Adisa.
Yes.
From Nigeria.
Of course.
We are overtaking.
All right.
Yeah, we're overtaking.
Kenya will
Kenya, we're
overtake.
overtaking.
We shall see. We
I
shall
love the vibe coming from Nairobi.
Yeah.
Very strong.
Now, this is the Founders Club. People who have come together, started this business. So we want to launch it here in Dubai. And then we're gonna spread it out. See a lot of hundreds there. It looks nice.
Guys, it's about to go down. Don't miss it. We have Aisha Shiru, we have Zainab Keita, we have Pastor Elisha all the way from the UK, we have Betty all the way from the UK, we have other leaders from South Africa, from Kenya, Nairobi, from the United Kingdom, from Nigeria, guys. We have so many people coming on board, so many people reaching out to us after our first event.
Maximum, yeah. Let me do continue. Let me save it.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi, how are you?
Jackie from Kenya.
Yes, this is also
Yes.
a guest from Kenya,
From
but
Kenya.
lives in Dubai.
Dubai.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm also waiting for some of my guests from Kenya.
that's beautiful.
Olivia.
Yes.
Yeah, that is good. So you're just getting started. Just taking a few screenshots here.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's.
In a few, one or two about today.
Yeah, we're here for the launch. We are so happy, we are excited, the products are amazing, and we can't wait to kickstart the job in Nairobi.
Yeah.
254.
254, here
Yes.
we come. 254 Emporium.
Yes.
And so again, sorry, I didn't get your name.
I'm Marion.
Marion.
Anyona. I can't wait to see what you will show me.
Yeah.
Yes.
What these guys from Kenya invaded your country to come and showcase.
Yes. Thank you so much for the invitation.
You're most
You're
welcome.
welcome.
All right.
I do understand you are the president of Emporium. I one or two about, and please tell us your name.
You're so sweet at Keynote. Hi everyone, my name is Trisha Toykam. I am from the Caribbean, beautiful Trinidad and Tobago, and I am the president and co-founder of AT Emporium International. A lot of people have asked us the question, what does AT stand for? It's a Glow Therapeutic Emporium International Limited, because we're here to change lives, we're here to change pockets, and we're here to make you look good, feel good, and have a lot of money in your pockets.
Wow, thank you. A lot of money. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
Thank you. Yeah. Hi, Christabel.
Hello.
Yeah, good.
Very good.
And, this is Christabel. Where are you coming from?
I come from Nairobi, Kenya,
Kenya.
and I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you come to Dubai?
I came to Dubai for Emporium,
Yeah.
a company that is here to revolutionize not just our beauty,
Yeah.
but our finances.
Wow.
So I'm very excited
Yeah.
because of the lives that are going to change,
Yeah.
and it's a good experience altogether.
So you want to be beautiful and you want to make money.
Oh yes.
Wow.
My name is Charlene from Kenya, and I'm here for the Emporium event. I'm here to make lives better, improve lives, 1 billion lives for that matter.
How do you plan to do that? How does this company plan to assist you to do that?
Well, through the sales and through support of the community generally.
Nothing can
Awesome.
stop me. I got what you need. Short what you want. I got what you need. Short what you want. I got what you need. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. For my niggas who really cruising Rolex. Keep the bitch on the Rolex.
You are here today because each one of you truly deserves to be here and to be part of the AT Emporium family. I'm going to take this opportunity to just share some information about myself with you all. In terms of my background, in terms of my profession, I have a bachelor's in politics, philosophy and economics. From the age of 16, I was always business-minded and I wanted to create an international impact. What better than AT Emporium International to create the impact and move everything to the next level? In relation to my role and what I do at AT Emporium, I want everyone to know that I work behind the scenes to ensure we have all the necessary regulations in place to protect each member of our family. Even more, I ensure that elements of the company flow in a logistical manner to ensure that nobody faces any challenges or hurdles during their journey with us. Why did we choose Dubai for our official global launch event? Today, we are here because 20 years ago, nobody ever thought a deserted country would ever be able to create an international dominance. Yet, Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum had a vision. His vision was to create a country with the greatest presence in the world. Today, people recognize United Arab Emirates as a successful and a renowned nation, with Dubai as the most attractive city. Likewise, our beautiful and amazing Chief Visionary Officer and Founder, Aisha Abu Bakr, had a vision. Her vision was to create a platform that would produce multiple 6- and 7-figure earners to change lives all over the world. We then created AT Emporium International as the vehicle to push our vision. Our honesty, integrity, and transparency. Each member of the corporate upholds these values, and this is what makes working with each individual an absolute pleasure. Even more than our products and our compensation plan, what we have to come will change the way people view the industry. We will have physical locations in each country providing services which allow our products to be used in an inclusive hub. This hub will allow everyone to come at a central meeting point where they will have access to bars and services as well as meeting rooms and offices to allow for you to share the vision with individuals and build your network. Right? Our hubs or our locations will provide services like manicures, pedicures, facials, and so forth, allowing everyone to use and experience the products from our scrubs, from our masks, from our lotions. Not only do these services allow you to get to know one another, but it allows you to push for the products. So this creates an opportunity for everyone to be inclusive and part of the AT Emporium family, where they can use the products and purchase the products after the services, but also give you opportunities to create IBOs in your network. We have some exciting things. What we will have, as once our physical locations are ready, people who are on the Founders Pack will receive a monthly card where they will have access to the bar for free. That allows you to bring members for drink, teas or coffees and have meetings within that location. Wow. You know, to emphasize the benefits of the Founders Club, there is so much more to come, right? You know, there's going to be some exciting announcements that will be said during the event today as well. But I want everyone to know, people who are part of the Founders Club, it is by far the best decision you've probably made in your life. Not only that, our products, if you've tried them or you are to try them, you know, I don't say this because I'm the CEO of the company, but we have chosen particular formulas for these products to ensure people receive the results. Each and every product that we have available and that is to come gives the results that we market our products as. I want to wish everybody the best for the journey that is ahead of us and for what is to come. And once again, welcome and enjoy the official global launch for AT Emporium.
All right, it's really good to be here this morning. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Awesome. You know, sitting down there when my CEO was talking, I was just wondering, I said, wow, I can only picture where we're going to be in the next 5 years.
That's it.
I know for sure that whatever is possible for one is possible for all. There's nothing that has ever been possible for one that is not possible for another. I made a post yesterday, I said, all things are done to them who have faith. I didn't say all things are possible. What did I post? I said, all things are done when you believe. Right? Why did I say it? Because life does not happen to any one of us. Rather, life responds to all of us.
Yes.
True? True. Success in whatever it is that we're doing, especially in the industry of network marketing and everything, literally everything, is both success and failures are results. True? Yes. I'll never forget about 12 years ago when I had a chance to see my very first opportunity meeting network marketing. And I went to this event and I saw people, with brand new cars, talking about vacations like this, right? And being able to attain financial freedom. And I realized something that I remember also some few days ago when we had a small meeting. I was sharing with some group of people and said, hey, listen, was it on our group, Zoom meeting that I did talk about dream cycle, where I was sharing an idea. I said, listen, all of us start a life here. We have this beautiful dream that all of us want to achieve. And what are some of the dreams that all of us, you and I, all of us want to achieve? When we are growing up, people said, I want to have a dream. Some places, some people said, I want a dream vacation. Right? What are some of the popular dreams that most of us here have? House. Dream home. Right. Okay. Next one. Maybe some of us here, all of us have different reasons for doing what we do, especially for coming on board in this business. All right? And some of us probably are on board because we want to be financially free, financially independent, right? And we do also have some people that maybe their dreams is
To have a fallback. Time. No.
okay. Time freedom?
Have a fallback.
Okay. That's good too. Okay. But at some point in our life, presently, what I discovered is that, as a matter of fact, I'm going to draw a very bigger cycle. So much more bigger than this. Alright? And this is the cycle. This is, we call it income or reality cycle. And I want to ask you a simple question if you're in this call tonight. If you keep doing what you're doing right now, other than the opportunity that you're involved right now, for the next 20 years, where do you see yourself? Alright? If you have a job, if you keep doing what you're doing right now for the next 20 years, where will you be in the next 25 years, 30 years? So, most of the times, what we find ourselves doing does not necessarily give us enough income and opportunity to be able to live these dreams. True of us. So rather than living life based on our dream, we find a way to shrink our dream to this reality. Alright? And instead of driving our dream cars, we use... By the way, the best sell car in the world right now is Toyota Corolla. The Brogmobile, right? Yes, so instead of people traveling to best destinations like where we are at this moment, like Dubai, Hawaii, Bahamas, all the beautiful places that we all dream of going, where do we go to when it's a festive period? Village. Right? And he said, hey, we just want to go home for the village. For the Christmas or for the Salah But the question I often ask people is, I said that they want to see the granny, but the granny too wants to go to Bahamas. The granny wants to go to Miami. Sure?
Yes.
Yes. So instead of being financially free, we work ourselves to death. I asked someone very successful. I said, for any reason, by chance, if anything happens to you today that you can't do what you're doing, what have you put in place that will secure your financial destiny? Because for many of us, our income is somehow relative to our effort. And it doesn't matter how much money we make, so long as our income is dependent on our effort, it simply means that any time, by chance, by any reason that we can't work, that's it. That's the end. And some people, instead of having time freedom, What happened? By the way, there's a popular phrase, no time. Right? Yes, so that's just by the way. All right, in 2011, 2010, when I had the chance to see my very first opportunity, the presentation in network marketing. I was a young guy, just graduated from the university, and I was looking for something to do. Fortunately, before I finished the university, I already had a business that I was doing. The business was booming. Everything was going well until one day I was robbed. Some people came to my shop literally with like a van and emptied everything in the shop. And I went from up to now, not ground zero, minus zero. How many of you have ever been in a situation in your life when you're praying, God help me to be broke? I just want to be broke. As long as I'm broke, I'm fine. But when you're minus, it means you are indebted. You just want to be free. You don't just want to have any debt. So that was the situation. And literally I didn't have money, and I had my very first invitation to take a look at this opportunity of network marketing. Someone invited me, and remember what I said earlier, I saw people living all these dreams. People having brand new cars, going on vacations. Some people were able to build $1 million home with this thing called network marketing, and I didn't know what it is up to that time. I said, please, can you show me how to do this thing? So, big challenge, because I was minus. I don't know why sometimes it's when you are in your darkest moment that some probably worse things or things also happen to you. When I was down, it happens that it was also supposed to be the time I was supposed to renew my house rent. And I was new, quite young guy in the city of Abuja, and my landlord said, yeah, I said it. When you were paying for the first time, I knew that there's no way you're going to be able to renew this house rent. So for the very first time, he wasn't patient with me, and he asked me to leave. And I cried many times. I felt bad. It's a story that I don't want to remember, but for the very first time, when people talked about being homeless before, I didn't know how it feels like. Even though I have siblings that I could easily run to, but I know that, wherever you go, your comfort zone is your dead zone. So I was able to go to a place called Marabanyanya. It's not popular. Most of you that are in Abuja know the place. I got a room for 25,000 naira, and I was staying. I just knew that it just for a moment. And when I saw the very first opportunity without money, nothing to do, I said that I'm not going to let or allow my lack of money to stop me from maximizing this opportunity. I sold my laptop, I sold my TV, I sold my phone. Then there was what we call phone book. You can go to a phone book and make a call, right? So I sold all of those things to get started in the industry of network marketing. And I found out some secret that I'm going to share with you in less than 5 minutes. Right? And within that 6 months of joining my first opportunity, I qualified for every qualifier in the company. But that is not it. When I moved to my other second company, I made my first $1 million, $2 million, all from the same opportunity. And network marketing is a great vehicle and a great opportunity for everyone. I want to share with you what is possible. I realize that if you have to be very successful in this thing called network marketing, there are 4 things you need. Number one, you're going to require, or if there's anything you will need to do, is to get in touch with the things that impact your desire. In other words, you need to have high level of desire. Napoleon Hill wrote a book, Think and Grow Rich, and the very first chapter in the book he called it what? Desire. Desire, he said, is the starting point for all meaningful and great achievement. I did share the story in one of the Zoom calls with some few of our leaders, and I shared the story of Robert Allen, who said, take me to any part of the world, give me $100 living expense, and in 90 days I will be a millionaire in dollars. And when he did that over 3 times, he said, bring any poor man and I'm going to show him the same skills. And when he taught them the same skills, he said, these people will never have to be poor for the rest of their lives again. Not for anything. But one of the requirements that he said is that those people need to have high level of desire. You see, you can't help anybody that doesn't have a desire for anything. That is why desire is the starting point for all meaningful and great accomplishment. There are many things that impact your desire. Number 1, your environment. Your environment. If you want to get that voice, make sure you go and have a test drive of it. You want this dream home? Make sure you take a walk. Number 2, the images that you're holding in your mind. The images. When you go to my home, then I make sure that I have all the pictures on my wall. The places I want to be, the cars that I want to drive, the amount of money specifically that I want to achieve using the opportunity that I have. You have to make sure that when you wake up, that's the first thing your eye sees and the last thing also. You see, the way our mind works is that the body itself cannot do anything without the mind. And the body doesn't know the difference what is real and what is imaginary. It is the informational content in the mind that the body acts out. I give an example. How many of you here have ever had this dream, you slept and you have a dream that someone was chasing you in a dream? Like someone is chasing you, and probably when they're about to catch you, you wake up, or when you're about to hit the ground, probably you're falling off from a cliff, all right? And when you're about to hit the ground, all of a sudden, you're up. How many of you have ever had that dream before? Yes. Here is what happened for certain. When you woke up that time, your heart was beating fast, true? And probably you were sweating, true? And guess what? You're just at the comfort of your home, your bed, probably. There was not any physical activity that you were involved that warrant that happened. But how come you were sweating? How come your body was responding as though you actually had involved in that thing? Because whatever is true to the mind is true to the body. Right? So the picture that you're holding in your mind. The second thing, you need to have high teachability index. Teachability index. There is what we call in network marketing, there's what we call success balance scale. Alright? And this is how it looks like. Teachability index means your ability to be teachable, coachable, and trainable. Right? You need to be. I remember getting involved and I was struggling, and until I met my very first mentor, and he told me, he said, Daddy, I want you to forget everything that you know. He said, if everything you ever knew were good enough, you probably wouldn't be where you are. Right? And this is what he showed me. He said, success balance scale, he said 90% of success and 10%. In other words, he said 90% is mental, only 10% is physical. Nobody ever told me that before. True? Yes. 90% mental. What are the activities on this side? The vision. Right? Here we have the mindset. Faith. Believing that all things are possible. Right? Here we have the desires. Right? The attitude while building the business. I remember sharing in the last call, I said there are two things you can control in building your business. You can control your attitude or you can control your activity. And sometimes people allow their attitude to affect their activities. But here we have things like the physical, the presentations. Right? We have things like the prospecting. But of course, here will not be complete without the whys. If there is one single thing I attribute to every success I've enjoyed in network marketing before and every leader that I've ever made, is that there is one thing you cannot take away from them. That is the why. My dad used to work and used to be quite comfortable financially until when he retired and everything changed. And his life also moved from up to minus now. And I love my mom very much. She was the reason why I do what I do. So if you come to my home, on my ceiling, I will do it for mama. Because there are days I feel like not going out. There are times I don't feel like talking to somebody. I'm naturally an introvert. Alright? There are times that I will question myself as to whether it's actually worth it, whether, I'm really ready to do this. But anytime I look at the ceiling and I say, do it for now. You see, human beings, we are wired to always do something, to go out extra, to do something, extra, to go extra mile for people that we love. This is why I always ask myself, how many no's will I need to hear? Alright? How many rejections do I need to get for me to say, you know what, I'm done. I'm not going to just suffer. I'm done. Better just suffer. Obstacles and challenges are everything as a leader your eye will begin to see the moment you take your eyes away from your why. Anytime when you find yourself complaining about the product, about maybe there's a product shortage, something is not right, all the challenges you talked about are nothing but just a makeup for the lack of definitive clarity in your why. So on this side, we have the presentations, the prospectings. What again? Even the trainings, right? But 90%, he told me that this is success balance. He said, when you get this side right, everything here is easy. See the skills? Forget it. I'll give you an example. Mom, if I kidnap your husband, alright? I'm just trying to create a hypothetical situation, alright? If I ask you, we're in Dubai right now, I'm sure you probably don't know many people in this town. There's a chance that you don't know many people, right? If I ask you that we're going to have a presentation here in the next 2 hours, or in the next, let's just make it simpler, easier. In the next 5 hours, I need you to fill this place with 100 people. There is a chance that it will be difficult for her. True? Yes. But what if I kidnap your husband? And I said, 100 people in the next 5 hours, I need them seated in this hall, or else he's gone. You see, all of a sudden, before this time, it's challenging. True? It's a challenging task. And probably, this is what's going to happen. In most instances, she will say, well, Eladi, I need you to teach me how to invite people. I don't know how to invite people. That is the problem. You know, there's this beautiful opportunity training going on, and then as a leader, you say, well, all the people I invite did not show up. They're not coming, right? But if the reason still is big enough, even the skill wouldn't matter. The skill is important, but still, 90% of your reasons, of your success as a leader will come. So the success balance scale talks about, first I said you need burning desire, second you need what? High teachability index, all right? Teachability index talks about your willingness to learn, to be trainable, to be teachable, and to be coachable. You're going to work with leaders. And it also talks about the second part, your willingness to accept change. If your willingness to learn is 10, but your willingness to accept change is 0, 10 times 0 is what?
0.
Is what? Is 0. Okay? So, next one. You're going to need to make a sacrifice. Right? Sacrifice. I used to tell people that if you don't sacrifice for what you want, then what you want become the sacrifice. What are you willing to give up? Because to go up, you need to give up some things. It's part of some of the things that we're going to discuss, I'm sure, during our training time. All right? And because the size of what you're willing to give up, I mean, your dream will determine the size of what you are going to have to give up in order to materialize that goal. For over 6-7 years, I gave up my TV time. You know, I gave up some in the relationship, right? This is the last thing I'll show you before I go down. Right? I gave up what? From a relationship. I gave up some of my TV time in order to materialize some definite success. And so you're going to work on your mentality. This is what one of my mentors told me. I want you to write the word down, mentality. %90 of your success will also come from this word. If you look at the word mentality, then my mentor, Mr. David and Haltenberg, says that the word mentality is from this word. The first two is what? Everybody say me.
Me.
Me. Yes. And you extend it to 3 becomes what? Man. It means me and the men in my life, the people that influences my mindset, the people that I allow to talk to my mind, they determine the what? The mental state of my mind. And this word tality, the word tality, if you check Wikipedia, says the great reality of your life. So it means that me, the men in my life, they determine the mental state of my mind. And that ultimately becomes the great reality of my life. Have you ever met someone that says something to you and it never makes sense to you, but in your darkest moment, you begin to consider the possibility of what they ever told you? Has it ever happened before? Just know that words are seed, and they never die. Who do you hang out with while you're in this business? You're hanging around people that tell you why it's going to be difficult, why it will be challenging, you know, why they tell you, well, it's just a new company. Well, we're going to talk about that because this, for the very first time, will give a lot of us leaders here, from now henceforth to probably the next convention that's going to take place. There will be a lot of activities that we will do and a blueprint that we have everybody here to be able to live up fully, to go back and live their dreams. Right? So remember, life does not give you what you want. Life gives you what you deserve. And remember what I told you earlier. Life does not life does not what? Respond. I said life responds to you, right? All right, thank you. I will see you next time.
And I promise myself I will not cry. I will not. I cannot do over my makeup. I cannot. So I'm not going to. But we are in Dubai. We are here. Emporium. Emporium. We impact 1 million families. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Because we are here together. In one room. All of us. For those that don't know me, my name is Trisha Twineham, and I am one of the co-founders, and I'm also the president of this amazing company. I have not prepared a speech. I don't usually do that, because I'm here to stand before you. I'm here to stand before you to share something that is important to me and important to every single person that you're seeing around that table right now. A year ago, we were in tears. We were crying, literally crying, with or without makeup. We were crying. And I'm not joking. We went through so many issues and problems, even in the industry of network marketing. And some people may say that we can take this and, just sulk in our misery and remain right there, or we can do something about it. And as a result of that, we decided to do something about it. We decided to take people along. We decided to right the wrongs of network marketing. We decided to help our people. We decided to step out of our comfort zone, because our comfort zone is our dead zone. Our speakers prior to myself did a fantastic job. We should give them a round of applause for both our CEO and our mentor, Mr. Haruna. Because every single individual in this room, you have no idea what has happened today. Let me tell you something before I go on. We were selecting songs around 3 a.m. this morning. And Nathan asked me, he said, "Why are you crying?" I said, "I'm not crying, I'm just tired." And that's the entire time I was crying, I was crying. And you know why I was crying? Not because I came to Dubai for the first time, oh gosh. No, but I came to Dubai with you, and you, and you, and everyone here. And this business, I swear, lots of hurdles, lots of problems, lots of disputes, lots of disagreements. But you know what? We're all here together. because we pulled it through. And we made it through. And we scaled through. And these 5 ladies that you see before you, well, it's 4 plus 5, right? 5 of us, we've been through a lot. And this company couldn't be blessed with the right co-founders, couldn't be blessed with the right persons, and better yet, it is enforced by women. Sorry guys, I'm just an advocate of women, you guys know this, all right? And I'm really proud and excited for all of us and the journey that we are here to experience. Because let me tell you something, Mr. Heladi spoke about sacrifice. Sacrifice can come in different forms and everyone can sacrifice. And we've made a lot of sacrifices along the way. I've had my share of sacrifice. Personally being away from my family for 4 months, which really supposed to be only one month, but I was kidnapped in Nigeria for 4 months. But that's okay, I can speak some Hausa now, you know. I met you wonderful people. But you know, during that time I was there, it was work. We worked. We worked every single day. We worked, everyone. We had meetings, we had calls, we had so many activities, we had events. So many things happened during the course of that time. And the sacrifice of being away from your family was one thing. But you know, with every sacrifice comes an equal reward. Do you know what my reward is? Does anyone in this room know what my reward is for that sacrifice? You see that table across there? My husband is there, my father is there, my brother is there. All of them are here in Dubai along with me. Do you know why? Because when you do businesses, you do it not for yourself. You do it for the people that you love, you do it for your friends. And I'm talking about your true friends. You do it for your associates. You do it for these wonderful people. And for us, this business is not just a business. We're not just here to build another organization. We're here to break the mold. We're here to create impact. We're here to help people. We're here to provide time and financial freedom in every sense of the word. Not just what you hear all the time. We are here and we are readily available to everyone all the time, 24/7. 24/7, you guys know that. 24/7, doesn't matter time zone, doesn't matter. We are here. And we are going to continue to be here because this is a monumentous occasion for us. This is one of many. You guys, many are called and a few are chosen. And yes, many are called and a few are chosen. And we are the chosen few here. And I couldn't be happier and I couldn't be prouder to be here to sit with Duchess and Auntie Bani and Aisha Abu Bakr, you know, and Ikra Asif, and Jerome Lancaster, and Adiola Samuel, our corporate team. The people that you associate with really do and truly impact your life. You just heard it. And I was in agreement with every single thing that was said. Every single thing. Because if we were not associated, this would not have happened. We would not have been here. And if you guys didn't have the belief that you have, this would not have manifested itself into reality. Guys, I don't want to take up much of your time because the best part of what I have to say will happen after lunch. But I just wanted to be able to just share a couple of words with you. So that you know that you're in the right place, at the right time, with the right company, the right people. It's 80 Emporium all the way. Next level. 80 Emporium! Next level! I think this crowd hungry, you know. 80 Emporium! Next level! We impact 1 million families! Thank you very much. Have a wonderful event. That's it for now.
event, we have just heard from our president and co-founder, and now we have the honor and the privilege of listening to another co-founder.
Nobody actually came up here to cry, so. I'll try not to cry.
Yes, well good.
Right, so, General, thank you so much for that introduction. And for those of you who don't know me, so I'll say my name again. My name is Idom Essence Okorodudu. I know Jerome did had a good well of avoiding calling my first name, but it's quite easy. It's Idom Essence Okorodudu. It's actually my pleasure to be here today with every one of you. I'm so delighted. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for believing in us. Thank you so much. So, my story is quite close to that of my coach here, Eladi. Like 20 years ago, I was introduced into this very beautiful industry. And I'm sure if I dig deeper, he will probably be in the same company as he was. Because that company opened my eyes to what I didn't know prior to then. Before then, so this was 20 years ago, yeah, precisely, I just got married. I was about a year in marriage, and I had my baby, my first child, Daniel. And then this friend of mine that I love so much came one day and said, look, Heidi, there's something else you can do. By the way, I'm an HR professional in an oil and gas industry with a company that is referred to as a company of choice. Many people would like to work where I work. And so, for many of my colleagues, they felt at home like, yeah, I don't have to do anything else. I earn enough to sustain my family. But I'm so thankful today. Once in a while, I call her and I tell her, you know what? Thank you so much for introducing me to network marketing industry. Because what it did to me was open my eyes to so many things I didn't know. So much I came to realize. So like Eladi, the first day I went for a business opportunity meeting, I got there and I saw industry captains. I saw beautiful cars. I saw big people. And here I was just a young graduate. I just finished, got married, had my baby, dealing with, all the early life crisis and everything. And I saw all these people. I'm like, really? So things like this are happening in this place and I'm not aware of it. So I fell in love with it right there and then. I was able to sign up. And I became a member of that company. That company still exists. And this is one thing that makes me commit to this business, this company, because if a company that actually opened my eyes to network marketing still exists till today, then I know that 100 years to come, Emporium International, somebody will be standing on the stage and saying, thank you to Emporium International for keeping me here, for opening my eyes to all that I have become and all I've come to know. I would like to give that company credit. I know it's something we don't do, but with your permission, that company name is Forever Living product. So why am I talking about Forever Living product? Because this is a company that has a robust learning and development strategy. They spend their time, they do all that they need to do, the researches, they have the right resources and everything to make sure that they groom and build their distributors to help them achieve their aim. So you can see that I have a background where, besides the work I do every day in my corporate organization, I have learned so much from what I learned from these companies. And after then, I've navigated the industry through other companies. But I give credit to Forever Living Products because of who they are and what they stand for. And so what am I saying? This is 80 Emporium International. We are going to surpass what they did in Forever Living Products. Yay! Because what have we done? At the core of our L&D is so much that we want to do to help our business to meet our performance needs. And what are we going to do? That's not far-fetched because, I mean, you could see we have people like Elodie here, everyone who is on this table. We have them put in place already to help us meet our needs through what? Mentoring, trainings, all of everything that you need, which is on the other side. Oh, it was taken away. The other side of whatever my coach showed. Remember what he showed to us? Right? Yeah. But it doesn't start there. Like he said, it starts from the other side. You have to be ready. You have to be teachable. You have to be able to go the extra mile. Just take one more step to do what you have to do so you can live that your dream. All right. So this is what we have done in 80 Emporium. We are not just here to show you a business and then leave you to, navigate all by yourself. We also have a robust strategy, L&D strategy, put in place to develop our ideals, those ones whom we have identified as our critical success people, like you all. The fact that you're sitting in front of me today makes me to know that you are one of these high potential ideals whom we are going to be hand-holding, okay? Teaching you to support us to meet our need as a company. So thank you so much for being one of those. All right. So besides that, we also have our systems put in place for trainings, for learnings, for references, for everything that you need to know. We have all of that prepared and ready for you. I don't want to go into the granular details of that because I have someone here who is going to help me talk about that in the manner you will understand. And to bring on stage to talk about this is my very eloquent Vice President of Leadership, no other person, Mr. Jerome Lancaster. Please help me welcome Mr. Lancaster.
Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I don't need music, I don't need an introduction, I like to be one with the people. Now, we've got a lot of exciting things, and I think first and foremost, we've got one more founder to hear from, that's Barney, but let's give a massive round of applause for our incredible founders. I think what they've done is absolutely remarkable. Let's give them a massive round of applause. But let's also give an incredible round of applause for Haladi. Now, many of you guys, well, hold on, give you a round of applause. Many of you don't know the success and the accomplishment that he's achieved financially, which is remarkable. But more important than that is the number of lives that he's impacted. He has single-handedly even coached some of the founders of this business. So thanks to that divine connection that happened several years ago, where he was able to mentor some of our founders. Today we have 80 Emporium International. And this is why that word mentality and understanding the people that are in your life are so significant, because the people that you associate yourself with can create a life-changing opportunity like we have today. Let's give him a massive round of applause. Now, I'm going to share some things with you guys I think you're going to be really excited with. I'll give you a little introduction about myself and my background. And I'm going to be very transparent. This is more, of course, it's our global launch event, so I'll say things to you guys that's not usually shared on calls. And the first one I want to enlighten you in is my background. So people know that traditionally I come from Jamaica. Some of you here look at me and say, he's definitely an Igbo boy, probably, right? I could be. I haven't done my ancestry DNA test yet. But I actually come from a very large family. So my parents actually had 8 children. I'm right in the middle. Well, they actually had 9 children, but 8 are alive today. I was actually a twin. My twin had passed away from birth. I then went into school. I didn't know I was a twin, by the way, until several years later. My parents got married. So my parents met in 1992. They got married in 1992. 1993, I was born, so it was real quick to have children. I was born, of course, the first experience was my mother losing a child. The second child is my brother that follows me, Aldine. He was then born with a bowel disorder, and he had a colostomy bag, which is your stomach outside of your stomach, for 12 years. So growing up, my parents then later on ended up getting divorced. As a young individual, I blamed myself. I said they were married, they were happy. When I came into their life, they lost a child. They then had another child that was born ill. So growing up in school, I was that rebellious child. In fact, my hands, on both sides, I had broken knuckles. I used to always fight, never paid attention in school, but I was good at sports, really good at sports. So much so that I went on to become a semi-professional footballer. But a gentleman sat down with me, which was my very first mentor. Wasn't in business, but he was a teacher at my school. And he said, in order for you to go where you've never been, you have to be willing to do things that you've never done before. Now, at that time when he said it, it didn't make any sense to me. But I said, you know what, I want to store that in my memory bank for things later on down the line. Now, the reason why I share this with you is so you understand where I'm coming from. I didn't have money and things growing up. But I then got introduced to network marketing for the very first time in 2013, in fact, June 2013. Now, many of you guys got into it and said, great, and been in for a long time. When I first saw the industry, I said, no way. So this is a scam, this is a pyramid scheme, it's not for me, miss me with it. Now, I didn't say these things because that was true, because that wasn't true. I said these things because all of those things that you saw earlier, car, house, holiday, vacation, from where I came from, those things were only for people that were born rich. I said it's impossible. There's no way somebody like me can have a life like that. But 6 months later, another friend introduced me to the exact same opportunity. Now, I don't believe in coincidences. I said, maybe God gave me an opportunity once. I said, no, but he's trying to give me an opportunity again. Now, the funny thing is, I was actually broke. So when you mentioned that prayer about praying just to be broke, that was me. Because the first time I saw the business, I was minus $500 in debt. The second time, I was minus $2,500. But to get involved into the business, I needed about $500 to get in. So I needed to make up $2,500 and then some to get involved. Now, unfortunately, I was so broke, I couldn't even do that. So the first sponsor that I introduced to the business, I asked them to pay for me. That's my real story. So I couldn't even afford to get involved. But in that meeting, when I made a commitment, I knew this was something different. And here's how things changed. I went from being dead broke, disgusted, and on my face within 6 months, being in that platform, ranked up to the 6th highest position, was then making a multiple 5-figure income a month. Within 9 months, I became a multiple 6-figure income earner. By 23 years old, I became the youngest vice president in that company, building a business. I was doing tens of millions of dollars a year. By 26, I had already produced more than 100 other people that became 6- and 7-figure income earners. I then went on in 3 other companies to do the same thing. Now, the reason I share that with you is to understand this. Is that there's a systematic blueprint in place that enabled that success to come. There's a systematic blueprint. Because this blueprint works for people everywhere around the world. I've traveled the world, Asia, Africa, Latin America, Europe, and spoken, taught. And the same principles have allowed people to achieve massive success. And what that is duplication. How many of you guys know duplications? How many of you would agree that, and because you're here by virtual default, you're a leader? Raise your hand if you're a leader. If you believe that you're a leader. If you're not, just believe that you are and you will be. You know, there's power in your speech. But you believe that you're a leader. Now imagine if you could have somebody like you in your own business. Who would think that'd be quite good? If I had somebody just like me, imagine you had an Ida Kuduru, or you had an Aisha Abubakar, or you had a Trisha Twakem or Haladi in your team. How many of you know you'll become a millionaire real quickly? Can you imagine if Haladi signed up underneath you? You sit back, hey Haladi, get the money, sell the product. And then the next person you invite was Aisha Abubakar, oh thank you Aisha. You know, Aisha, I love you, thank you. You work and I'll get a hotel tomorrow and I'll be able to travel the world. Or you get a Trisha Twakem in your business and boom. But here's the problem that many of us have. We don't know how to do that. Now we've understood in network marketing, a very simple way to do that is to have a system that duplicates. Have a system that's enable you to teach other people, but what we want to do is make it even better, make it streamlined. Because we understand that the fundamental focus in this business is the mindset, is the attitude, is the vision, is your mentality, but there is practical things that need to take place. So what we've now developed is a fully functioning online application on your business that's going to enable you to have your business grow organically. And we're doing that in the form of a library. You're now going to have your own library that is going to be placed onto your online back office from the 1st of July. Now, we're going to go into more detail. What does this library do? You see, going forward, you're not going to have to worry about teaching people the right mindset, or teaching people how to promote events, or teaching people how to recruit, or how to present the opportunity. All of this is now going to be done for you. In fact, from the 1st of July, you're going to see on your online back office that there's an automated system on the back office that's going to teach people how to present. So you're not going to have to worry whether your distributors know how to present the business, because they're now going to learn. You're not going to have to worry if you have people that don't know how to recruit or don't know how to say the right things. We've got a system that's going to teach them. A library, videos explaining how to do these things, on how to acquire customers, understanding the compensation plan. How many of you here have had people in your team that say to you, I want to make money, I want to grow, but I don't know how to recruit. I don't know how to get customers. Oh, you know, my mindset's a bit weak, or this business might not be for me, or I don't understand the compensation plan. Well, imagine now you don't have to do those things anymore, because we've got a library that's going to do that for you. And what I want to do is I want to give you a little teaser, just 30 seconds, of how that library is going to look. So there's 4 videos, but I'm only going to show you one. Welcome to another training at Emporium International, where you're going to learn how to hold an effective presentation. So we're going to teach you ways and methods that you're going to be able to improve the quality of your presentations, therefore improve the quality of the information being shared, and ultimately giving you more registrations and sign-ups in your business. Now you want to start the presentation with the guest in mind. You see, you want to start the presentation with the guest in mind. You want to start the presentation with a guest in mind. Why did I say it 3 times? Because this is the most important part of the psychology behind presenting. You need to be able to... So I'm not going to go through it. I want you guys to watch the video for yourself on your online library. But here's what you're going to have. You're going to have training. Training don't training. You don't have to worry anymore about, oh, people come on. There's going to be trainings in place where people are going to learn how to present. Fundamental skills. How to recruit. What to say. What not to say. How long to speak to people. We all hear network marketing. Spend 1 minute with 100 people, not 100 minutes with one person. Making it streamlined. But we've gone a step further, because we identified that people like Aisha Shehu, Adaku, they have no problems recruiting. None at all. But we can all develop our businesses, and they've done great. But imagine if you was able to now not only register somebody to the business, but you was able to now train them effectively. See, many people miss out the fundamental parts on how to do the training. So I want to talk to you about 2 other things that we're adding. See, not only are we adding a library of videos teaching you how to present, how to recruit, how to acquire customers, mindset, promoting events, and more, we're now giving you documents so that when a new person joins the business, you have a roadmap that you can follow. So let me introduce you to the first document. The first document is actually our launch document. This is going to help somebody get registered and have the perfect start to the business. Everything is there. So let me show you. Number one, somebody joins. All you need to do, just go back. The first thing you need to do is put in their name. No problem at all. Their registration date. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to write the name of their upline leader. So let's say, for example, I am in Aisha Shehu's team, right? But somebody down in her team invited me to the business. Now, that person's still new. So what's that person going to do? They know that Aisha Shehu is their leader. So they're going to give me Aisha Shehu's number straight away. What does this mean? This now means that new people are going to have direct access to the leaders, having their questions answered, therefore not being left by themselves in the cold. The second thing that we have is all of the products are listed here, and also the volumes that you're going to get of each product. So when it comes to people ranking up, they're going to understand exactly how to do so. Now you can see some of them are left blank because we are going to be adding them shortly. The next thing that we have is showing you how to acquire customers. Real simple. No, stay on that same slide. So we've got a simple script on how to acquire customers, keeping it short and simple. Now, what is the ultimate goal of a launch when you're launching a new person to the business? It's only two things. Well, three actually. Number one is to cast a vision, so they have a goal. Number two is to teach them how to acquire customers, and number three, help them register a new person. How many of us will feel great if every new person that came in got at least 10 customers on day one and registered 3 people on day one? That will be great, we'll be laughing. You'll blow through ranks like you never saw before. Well, that's what this document is about. What they're going to do is they simply just follow how to acquire customers, and they'll write down a list of 20 potential customers. And what happened now in that first training, after they've joined the business, is you're going to help them get their first customer. And there's a new announcement that's going to come out a little later, which is very exciting regarding the products. The second thing now is, of course, the compensation plan. Making it simple. Not going through every single rank, because in the beginning, it's not going to make sense. But we're talking about the rank rewards. What volume you need to achieve every rank. The percentage of the volume that counts, and then how to recruit. The fundamental steps when it comes to recruiting. Keeping it super simple. 1 minute. Always through a phone call. Be excited and edify the presenter. Now what are you going to do at the end of this? They do another list of 20 people, and all you're going to do is get them to call 3 of those people for tomorrow. So what does this now look like for your business? You can show somebody a video. If you didn't realize, one of the videos is something even more unique. We're now going to have an 8-minute presentation professionally done, breaking down the entire business in 8 minutes. So now if you have somebody anywhere around the world, you can send in this video. Now I know some of you speak other languages. Even more better news. We're going to have this video in multiple different languages. So if you have somebody from India, you have somebody from Spain, somebody from France, somebody speaks Hausa, every single language these videos are going to be in. Meaning anyone can join this business and gain knowledge and understanding. This team table there, Shelley's like, I'm going to diamond tomorrow, I can't wait. But it's great. These are the things that we're doing because we want to help make your jobs even easier. Now, it doesn't stop there. We now have a recruitment document as well. So somebody's got involved in the business, great. They've seen the presentation, they've gone through the trainings, but they just need additional assistance when it comes to recruiting. Well, we've got a recruitment document. Now, if you want to become a professional in this industry, you need to be around other professionals. Eric Worre, in his GoPro, he talks about the memory jogger. So we have 100 names on the right-hand side. So when a new person comes in and you're helping them recruit, you can say things such as, hey, who's your best friend? Who do you know that wants to make money? Etc., etc. And they can begin to write down these names. You see, most people don't have a limit of contacts. They have a limit to the people that they can think of at that moment in time. So this is going to help you. But it's also going to help people understand why to recruit. Most people say, oh, I can't bother to recruit. I don't like recruiting. Okay, that's fine. But you're going to be successful. Well, let's just have a look at this document. The most successful companies in the world all recruit. Amazon, Tesla, Apple, Nike, McDonald's, Real Madrid Football Club. We've also done some mindset, understanding there's 3 different types of people. But what's the ultimate goal here? Is to be able to enable your people so they have all the skills necessary to go out and succeed. So what's just some of the things that we have, and there's more coming. We have an online library that teaches you all the fundamental skills in network marketing operating in multiple different languages. We also have PDF documents on how to launch a new member, how to acquire customers, and also how to recruit. We also have another document for leaders coming in, where you're going to be able to show them this document, and it's going to give them a step-by-step blueprint on how to become a diamond within less than 90 days. These are all the things that we're introducing to the platform because we want you to have all the skills necessary to succeed. So in closing right now, I want you to understand this. What we're doing right now is super different to what other companies are doing. We're enabling you to only focus on what really matters, acquiring customers and recruiting new members, and we're providing a fully e-commerce system that's going to provide everything else out to networks so you no longer have to worry. Now, we're going to have a break right now for 15 minutes because I know some of you are real hungry and still tired and it seems like you missed breakfast this morning. So there's going to be a tea break for 15 minutes, but what we kindly ask is that you come back into the room in 15 minutes, not longer, ladies, we need to go to the toilet break. And after the break, we have even more important announcements, and one of them being the announcements of all announcements. Because we know all of you have massive questions about the products, and today we have some exciting announcements that's going to take place as soon as the break is done. So on that note, ladies and gents, thank you so much. I don't have the mic.